Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. We appreciate the support. So I've been trying to record this video, but it has been difficult. It has been because this is a messed up situation we saw down in Texas where a dirtbag decided to take advantage of innocent people and decided to victimize these people. Obviously killed about 26 people so far, to include kids. I mean, children, to all the way, I want to say, to 77 years old. I mean, horrible situation and really depressing time in our country here. Really a bad time. And it upset me. It upset me so much yesterday that I started to cry because it was so bad to see things like this where good people are being victimized and taking advantage by these people for whatever reason, you know. So I want to encourage you guys to pray for the victims and, you know, the families in the community and the people around there, even the country. I want you guys to, you know, encourage you guys to pray because they truly need our prayers right now. I mean, this is something that it's gonna impact the community big time. It was a very, very small town, and being such a small town, everybody knows everybody. So I want to encourage you guys to pray, especially the victims right now that are in the hospital trying to recover. Maybe some of the people going through different type of procedures, surgeries, and things like that. Keep them in prayer. And thanks God for those two guys that decided to do something about it. How many times we talk about this in the channel where we say, you know what, whoa, something happened, I'm going to protect my family, or we're going to protect this, and there's a lot of debate about doing something about it. Well, that guy that was taking a nap, it was a guy sleeping. He woke up because of this situation, and he decided not to be safe. He decided not just to call the police and close the door. He decided to do something about it, and he took his rifle and went out there to confront evil. And he, you know, ultimately was able to stop the bad guy along with the other guy, the other driver. I'm sure you guys been watching the news and seeing all that. So I thank the good Lord for that citizen that decided to do something about it. So again, keep them in prayer. So I wanted to talk about this very quick because I've been talking about this multiple times. If you look in my channel, I have talked about concealed carry, and I have talked about carrying a gun in church. Now, obviously, there are some places that you're not allowed to do it. South Carolina is an example of that. What happened in South Carolina in the church where the crazy dude killed, 11 people. It was a hate crime in that particular situation. But again, I have talked about this many times. And to cover the topic here that I got, we should have armed personnel in the church. And the pastor should make sure that he does that. In fact, he should, because he is the shepherd. He is the guy in charge, right? The lead pastor is the boss. And I think, in my opinion, it is his responsibility to have some type of security plan in place, you know, that could be like medical procedures, that could be evacuation plan, routes where you're going to get out of the church, that could be maybe having a police officer in your church. That's probably going to cost money, but or that could be just utilizing, you know, a former police officer, maybe former military, or maybe guys that are into security and have some type of background because they took classes or whatever. So again, I really do that pastors need to do this. And I know from talking to some pastors is that they don't do it. And I really think that we need to change our opinions when it comes to this. You know, I talk to a lot of Christians that have the mentality that if I die, I go to heaven, and that's it. I don't really think that should be the mentality. The mentality that we should have is to protect our congregation and to protect the people. Because this is what's happening. We saw what happened in Tennessee. You guys know that. What was it? Maybe like a month, 2 months ago. We saw what happened in South Carolina. Actually, California had a shootout outside a church on the same day that this happened. And now we see what happened here in Texas. So we need to go out there and establish a plan. And we should have armed security at the churches. There doesn't have to be completely visible. It doesn't have to be like, um, uh, a big deal about it. It could be just regular people that are inside that church, and they carry a gun, that have been identified. Maybe they have taken some training. Maybe it's something, some type of. I'm sure there's going to be liability and things like that. All that stuff needs to be worked out. So I would encourage you guys. I would encourage you to ask your pastor. Ask them, do you have a security plan? Do you have a plan to protect my family in case something happened? Guys, I got to tell you, sometimes our children goes to the back to do whatever, to go into the school teaching, and we don't know what's going to happen. They should have a plan in place. So I would encourage you guys to ask your pastor, and maybe some of you guys are former police officer or police officers or whatever. Maybe you guys could come out with a plan, or maybe you guys could call the sheriff's department and come out with a way to have a plan to protect our congregation. We really need to think about this, guys. We really do need to think about this. And let's continue to pray for the victims' family and for the community of Texas. Let's continue to pray for them because they truly need our prayer. So, again, let me know what you think down in the comments. I appreciate your support. And as always, God is in control.